Hello, wizards, and welcome back to the 50 Days Software Architecture class. Today, on day 43, we continue our real world case study series with another legendary company, Uber. Olga, why is Uber's journey from monolith to distributed systems such an important lesson right after Netflix?
Thank you, Oliver. Uber's story is fascinating because they grew from a simple ride-sharing app in 2009 to a global platform handling billions of trips, all while completely transforming their architecture. They faced explosive growth, massive scaling challenges, and had to move from a single Ruby on Rails monolith to a sophisticated distributed system with hundreds of microservices. This lesson directly builds on the Netflix case study from day 42. You'll see how both companies solved similar problems, but with different tools and approaches. We'll connect it to microservices, day 7, resilience, day 28, deployment strategies, day 39, cost optimization, day 40, compliance, day 41, and the Netflix patterns we just covered. It's going to be a rich, practical deep dive with tons of real-world lessons you can apply immediately. Let's get started.
Hello, wizards, and welcome to day 43. Today, we are analyzing Uber's incredible evolution from a simple monolithic application to a highly sophisticated distributed system. When you open the Uber app and get a ride in seconds anywhere in the world, you are experiencing an architecture that was completely rebuilt to handle explosive global growth. Uber started small in 2009, but quickly scaled to serve millions of riders and drivers across hundreds of cities. Today, we will break down exactly how they transformed their system, the pain points they faced, the key architectural decisions they made, and the lessons that can help any team facing rapid scaling. By the end of this lesson, you will understand not only what Uber did, but why those choices were critical for reliability, performance, and business agility.
Absolutely, Anastasia. To appreciate the challenge, let's look at the numbers. Uber now completes billions of trips globally every year and handles millions of rides per day. During peak hours or major events, the system must match riders and drivers in real time with sub-second latency, while coordinating payments, mapping, safety features, and surge pricing. The original Ruby on Rails monolith simply couldn't keep up. This case study shows how Uber moved to a distributed architecture with hundreds of microservices, Kafka for event streaming, Ringpop for service discovery, and advanced observability. It perfectly complements the Netflix case study from day 42 and ties together everything we've learned about microservices, resilience, deployment, and cost optimization. You'll see the practical trade-offs and the exact patterns that made Uber's system battle-tested at global scale.
Let's go back to the beginning. In 2009, Uber launched with a simple Ruby on Rails monolith that handled everything: rider app, driver app, matching logic, payments, and mapping. It worked great when they were small, but as demand exploded, the monolith started showing serious cracks. On this slide, we'll understand the exact pain points that forced Uber to completely rethink their architecture. The monolith grew rapidly and became a bottleneck. Deployments took longer, any change risked breaking the entire system, and scaling the whole application for one busy component was extremely inefficient. During peak hours or big events, the monolith would struggle with traffic spikes, causing delays for riders and drivers. This is the classic monolith problem we discussed in day 7 and day 37 on refactoring legacy systems. Uber realized they needed to break the system apart, but they didn't do it all at once. They used a gradual, service-oriented approach that eventually evolved into full microservices. This migration took years and taught them many hard lessons about distributed systems. Uber didn't jump straight to microservices. They started with a service-oriented architecture approach, extracting key capabilities into separate services. This slide explores the strategic decision-making process and why it was the right move at the time. The team realized that continuing with the monolith would limit their ability to innovate and scale globally. They began by extracting services like payments, notifications, and mapping into independent components. This gave teams autonomy, allowed independent scaling, and dramatically sped up development cycles. It directly connects to the microservices benefits we covered on day 7 and the organizational culture lessons. From the Netflix case study on day 42, Uber's approach emphasized you build it, you run it ownership early on, which became a core principle as they grew. With dozens and then hundreds of services, Uber needed a reliable way for services to find each other. Their answer was Ringpop, a custom built solution. Ringpop is Uber's gossip based service discovery and membership protocol. It allows services to discover each other without a central registry, providing automatic failover and smart routing. This was critical for their scale and directly relates to the service discovery patterns we saw with Eureka at Netflix, day 42, and on day 27. Ringpop helped Uber maintain high availability even as the number of services and instances grew into the thousands. As Uber's system became more distributed, they adopted event driven architecture to keep services loosely coupled. Kafka became the nervous system of Uber's platform. Events like ride requests, location updates, and payment confirmations flow through Kafka topics in real time. This allowed services to react asynchronously and decoupled the rider and driver, matching logic from other parts of the system. This is the event driven architecture we introduced on day 9, but scaled to billions of events per day. It was a game changer for reliability and scalability.
In a distributed system, understanding what's happening across services is essential. Uber invested heavily in observability. Jaeger, which Uber helped open source, provides distributed tracing so engineers can follow a single ride request across dozens of microservices. Combined with metrics and logs, it gives complete visibility. This builds directly on the observability stack we saw at Netflix, day 42, and the monitoring best practices from day 18. Uber's observability tools became critical for debugging issues in their globally distributed environment. Uber learned that failures are inevitable in distributed systems. They adopted many resilience patterns. They implemented circuit breakers, retries, and bulkheads to prevent cascading failures, patterns we studied in detail on day 28. They also ran chaos testing, inspired by Netflix's Chaos Monkey, to ensure the system could survive real-world outages. This resilience layer was crucial for maintaining service during peak times and regional failures. Managing data across hundreds of services brought new challenges around consistency and availability. Uber uses different databases for different services, polyglot persistence from day 11. For complex workflows, they adopted event sourcing and CQRS. They carefully balance eventual consistency with strong consistency where it matters most, for example, payments and ride status. This is one of the hardest parts of moving to distributed systems, and Uber's solutions are excellent real-world examples. As the number of services grew, deployment became a major focus. Uber moved to Kubernetes and advanced CI/CD practices, enabling the zero-downtime deployment strategies we covered on day 39. They now perform thousands of deployments daily with minimal risk. This evolution mirrors the Spinnaker-powered pipeline we saw at Netflix. Uber operates in hundreds of cities across continents, requiring true global scale. They run services across multiple regions and even multiple clouds for resilience. Traffic routing and data replication ensure low latency and high availability no matter where users are located.
Technology was only part of the solution. The organization had to evolve too. Uber applied Conway's law intentionally. Small teams own end-to-end services, which accelerated development and improved quality. This is the same ownership model we saw at Netflix. With sensitive user data and global operations, security was non-negotiable. This ties directly to day 41. Uber built zero trust at the service level and automated compliance checks throughout the pipeline. Running at Uber scale means every dollar of infrastructure matters. They apply the cost optimization techniques from day 40, combining auto-scaling, reserved capacity, and continuous monitoring. Today, we analyzed Uber's incredible journey from a simple monolith to a sophisticated distributed system. We saw how they used SOA, Ringpop, Kafka, and Doma to handle global scale while maintaining speed and reliability. This case study shows how technical and organizational choices must evolve together. Not every decision was perfect. Uber also learned what not to do. They warn against creating a distributed monolith and emphasize keeping services loosely coupled and observable.
Uber's patterns have influenced countless modern platforms. Their contributions to Jaeger and other tools continue to shape the industry. You don't need Uber's scale to benefit from these lessons. Start small, focus on one service at a time, and use the 30-90-day roadmaps we've discussed throughout the course. It's useful to compare Uber and Netflix side by side. Both companies solved similar problems, but chose different tools based on their domain. The principles remain the same.
Today, we explored Uber's transformation in detail. We saw how they turned rapid growth challenges into a robust, scalable, distributed system.
Day 43 of the 50 Days Software Architecture class, Uber Case Study, Evolution from Monolith to Distributed Systems. We analyze how Uber scaled from a Ruby on Rails monolith to a global distributed platform, using Ringpop, Kafka, Jaeger, Kubernetes, and advanced resilience patterns. Compare it with Netflix from day 42 and learn practical lessons for your own projects. Homework inside, like, subscribe, and support us on Buy Me a Coffee. We appreciate your support in making this class possible. Check the links in the description for our Spotify show and support page. See you in the next lesson as we continue our 50-day journey.
That wraps up today's case study. On the next day, we look at Amazon's serverless architecture.
Please complete the homework. Applying these ideas will make a real difference in your projects.
That's day 43 complete. We just unpacked Uber's evolution from a monolith to a global distributed system. If you enjoyed this case study, please subscribe for daily architecture lessons and support the channel on Buy Me a Coffee. Every coffee helps us keep creating these in-depth videos. See you in the next video for day 44.